Dominica Ramos. I'm the coordinator of the Global WASH Cluster, and I work with UNICEF. Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a lot of really good partnerships around large-scale kind of disease outbreaks and public health emergencies. So we do come together quite well with our health counterparts, our nutritional counterparts, and I mean, we, in recent years, been responding quite consistently and systematically and with a good level of coherency in key responses around cholera, around Ebola, and most recently in COVID-19. So I would say that's kind of a success story for us. And recently with the Global WASH Cluster, we actually produced a joint operational framework with the Global Health Cluster that really kind of defines the way that we can prepare for and respond to public health emergencies. In terms of working with actors from other sectors, I think one of the most important pieces here is to really be sure that we have a basic understanding of each other and the way that we work. I know a lot of times in the spirit of collaboration, I think we need to sometimes take a step back from that siloed approach and really think about how we can best work together. So sometimes we're not as successful as we probably need to be in terms of this intersectoral collaboration, but I do think that for the WASH sector, it is a core part of our work because of the way that we interlink with other sectors and the actors that are delivering. And I think that where the conceptual understanding is there, so particularly if we take the example of the triple nexus and working across humanitarian development and peace actors, I would say that some of the barriers are partly first knowing who the correct interlocutors are. So in terms of who we should be working with, both within our sector and also beyond our sector, so across sectors. I would say another barrier is really just I know it seems quite basic, but kind of the timing or maybe the physical timing of actors being engaged. So for example, particularly around a conflict setting, development actors tend to not want to engage as early on. However, the scope, scale, and size usually goes beyond what the humanitarian actors can respond to. So it's a little bit of finding that moment of synergy where humanitarian and development can overlap, and also to ensure that the peace actors are also being properly integrated. So I think all of that just gets magnified as you cut across other sectors, because already if internally within one sector, like within the WASH sector, we haven't really worked those pieces out yet. I think that then, yeah, it just kind of multiplies itself in magnitude across when we talk about intersectoral collaboration. Kind of the need to really link up the different frameworks, right? Because we have frameworks that underpin humanitarian action, right? And then we have broader development frameworks, like the SDGs, but really that needs to be speaking to each other, because, if we're on a trajectory in a particular location to the SDG and a shock happens, that's going to impact basically the achievement of the SDGs. And I think that should be factored in terms of that level of kind of flexibility and ability to absorb, a shock and not completely lose, the gains that have been made. So I think there's really something about also linking that up. I think what I've seen in a lot of particularly fragile context is there is an ongoing conversation about SDGs, and there's planning around SDGs, and there's financing of responses that support SDGs, but that's completely disconnected then from what the humanitarian actors are doing. And I think that's kind of, I think we forget that the overall umbrella of what we're all trying to achieve is more sustainability and less fragility. And so actually we should all be kind of working along the same plan, or have kind of the same master planning, and then just be able to bring in our own levels of expertise around that, in terms of whether it's more humanitarian focused or more development focused.